Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below. Good evening everybody and welcome along to the 12th round of AOR Hype Energy's XB1 F2 League for Season 16. Tonight we go to Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, first held in this track in 1986 around this twisty circuit near Budapest. The person who did get the most wins in real life is Lewis Hamilton, and he did win this year as well with quite a dominant fourth in the race as well, and also notably known with collisions with Bottas and Ricciardo as well. That was one to watch. I remember watching that for dear life. I am Jess and I'll be one of your commentators tonight. Unfortunately we don't have James tonight, but hopefully he will be back next week. We're just waiting for a few more minutes for the lobby to start because we're waiting on one driver who's having connection issues. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the lobby underway so we can get started, really, basically. So, what happened last week? I wasn't here last week due to the fact that I was celebrating. No, I don't have to explain why I'm away or I was away last week, but I was away last week. But we did have a stream, and we saw Dralix, who took his first win of the season, and I ended up watching the stream back afterwards. I managed to catch the last 10 or 15 minutes of the stream, and he was able to pull off the wet conditions towards the end to perfection. He was able to pit onto the inter conditions quite early on as well, and that's what caused him to win, and hopefully he will be able to show some consistency towards the second half of the season, because Dralix has come to a form of his own. He's always been a person who has scored quite highly in the points at times. He got P4 in France and Monaco, and he got P5 in Bahrain, and he's also known for doing good in qualifying, and he hasn't had any retirements this season as well, and due to that win in the due to that win in Germany last week, that's pushed him to third in the championship with Rosberg and Manoni in front of him. So that's going to be a very interesting championship fight on our hands as we go to Hungary, because we've got 3 drivers in contention, and also Jorg is level with Dralix as well, with some other people and some famous faces that we're seeing as well. So just a couple of things to point out before we get quali underway. It looks like the lobby is ready to go, so we can get some racing underway. And I'll just let you know, there was one person that was in F2 at the start of the season, then went to F1, and now is back in F2. And it is Clone Troop. So Clone Troop is back in the XB1 F2 TM. We're very excited to have him along. I do believe it's the first race that he's going to race with on a wheel. He's been racing on a pad for most of his F1 esports career, but this will be the first time in AOR that he'll be racing on the wheels. So we'd like to wish him the best of luck tonight. A few drivers not being able to make it tonight. Roberts was the driver that was having some connection issues. Hopefully he can join back soon, and I think X-Power is not here either. So those are 2 drivers that we are missing for the lobby, but apart from that we have everybody else ready to start this race. I hope you're all as pumped as I am. I was commentating with Fitcho for the XB1 Oceania race earlier on today, and oh my, how chaotic a race that was. The race, it came down to a bitter end, to be honest with you. Codemasters was on course for a win, but unfortunately due to his Elgato and laptop issues, it costed him big time, and he had a crash with his teammate Fens, and that allowed Jared to take the win there. Ryan would take the win on track, but he had 9 seconds worth of penalties, and that's what caused him to drop down to second with his teammate Timo Malik in third place. But the lobby is now up, and we can. Oh wait, X Power is in the session. My bad. My apologies, and I did get the wrong driver mixed up. I apologise. But anyway, we are going to get qualifying underway as of right now, and I'm very excited now. Everyone is in the pits currently, which is normal because they are starting to find out what tyre strategy they are going on today. So the tyres we do have on offer for this weekend Grand Prix will be the ultra softs, the softs and the mediums. Now the optimal strategy for these guys today will be to qualify on a set of soft tyres, go for a one-stop strategy, start on the soft tyres and then go on to the mediums, and then the tyres won't overheat as much. But some people may take a gamble and do an ultra soft to mediums, or do an ultra soft to super soft to mediums if they want to do a two-stop. So a definite mix of strategies, I've got to say. But it'll be interesting to see who's going to get the strategy right, because usually if you qualify on the ultra softs, it's not going to end well in terms of strategy, because you will probably pit earlier than everybody else, especially if you have rivals contending for you for the championship, even if it's midfield as well. So very interesting there as well. So we've got a few people on their out laps. I think one of the first people to go out onto the circuit is Sauber driver B for F1. Now, in terms of the championship, Melanie is currently leading the championship with 107 points and a 16-point gap with to CRL Rosberg, who's done quite well in previous races. He actually got a P2 in last week's Grand Prix, and he had loads of battles in the race as well, as far as I've heard as well. And he's been shown to be very consistent as well during practice. He was hoping that he was going to get rain throughout this, but unfortunately he wasn't. He is not going to get that. But you never know. He may do good in the dry. We have seen at times he scored good results in the dry. He did gain a win in Bahrain by scoring a very good victory there, and he also got P2 in Baku as well, and also obviously P2 last week in Germany with Rosberg. So with Dralix in P3, Jork in P4, and then we got Colehead in P5. We've got in Famous Clays in P6, George, which is Frankish in 7th, and we have John in 8th, Bailey, VRT Verstappen in 9th, and with Sam in 10th place. So that's rounding up your top 10. Pretty much everybody in this league has scored points. I do believe the first point Roberts received this season was last time out in Germany for F2. Now, he joined midway through the season in Xbox One F2 because he did move down to F3 for a little bit, and then he went back up to F2. So it was very nice for him to see him score some points last week. So well done to Roberts on that. So we are going to get the telemetry up and see what the time is looking at like that at the moment, as everybody is on their flyer. Now, interestingly, everybody is qualifying on a set of ultra softs at the moment, but possibly they're going to set a banker lap and do a very slow one, and then towards the end of the session they could possibly go onto a set of soft tyres and set their fastest lap. The fastest lap I have seen in qualifying is around about in the 1 minute 15. The fastest time on the ultra softs this morning was a 1:15.2, I do believe. Now, Beef just come across the line in the P2 in Famous Place in pole. So a few banker laps, I got to say, at the moment. But that is what these guys are expected to do at the moment. You don't expect faster lap times from these guys until the end. They just got to get a feel for the tyres, see which ones are the best to qualify on, and see which ones work as well. And I have seen in a few leagues a few people qualify on the ultra softs, and one of the softest tyres there, probably the worst one to be on, they get pole and then they bottle it, and we really don't want to see that happen today. But we have seen surprises come through, and sometimes we do see people on a set of the ultra soft tyres go and do a very good strategy and push those ultra soft tyres to a limit for a few laps and then save it quite a lot. Sometimes the safety car does come up into its own as well if the safety car comes in this Grand Prix. But Frankish has just set another lap time of 1:16.9. X-Power, Ollie, Hayden, Clone Troop and Pelzery still yet to set a lap time, but we are already going to see quite close lap times, and I wonder if any of the teammates will be working together and starting to form alliances, or will they be driving their own races. Coming up to that very crucial stage of the championship, we're going to start to see who's going to be out of the running to win the championship, and if they're going to help other people try and win the championship. We have seen this in Xbox One Oceano, I gotta say, but I think these guys are a bit more friendly in terms of rivalry here than yeah. So I think, to be honest, they're going to drive their own race for a little bit and then possibly help out. But we have seen the two McLaren teammates working together at the start of the season when KJ Gamer was with Red Bull with Ollie. We have seen those two work together with each other having a little bit of a toe. So I wonder if any of these guys will be working together again. Now Clone Troop is in the Red Bull. Now Ollie does have a teammate, so will Clone Troop be helping Ollie, or will Clone Troop be hindering him? We'll have to wait and see. Now Clone Troop is on an out lap, so let me just follow him. He is in the other Red Bull, obviously, at the moment. So Clone Troop needs to have some better luck. He hasn't had good luck in Xbox One F1, but possibly going into Xbox One F2 may change a little bit on his pace, and this will be the first time on the wheel. He's still getting used to it, and maybe it's just a learning curve for him at the moment. He wants to get used to it at the moment. He may not have good results to start with, but coming towards the end of the season, it may be a force to be reckoned with Clone Troop. So he might be a dark horse coming towards the end of the championship, and he'll probably be a prime target for helping some people out in the championship. As Verstappen has gone a little bit wide and quite a common corner for people to crash in this circuit. Now it is a twisty circuit, and I think his lap time has been invalidated, so I won't be following him. It is a twisty circuit, and to be honest, I could call this circuit, to be honest, to be Monaco without the walls. It is very hard to overtake. The best chances you can have to overtake on this circuit is turn one. Turn one, if you get it absolutely right, it will be absolutely amazing. But possibly you've got to possibly try and make it work through turn two. It's a possibility there, but turn two is where you got to defend your line as well. We have seen a few people try and make a move down in turn one, but they mess it up in turn two, and the guy that got overtaken managed to gain a position again. So turn two is equally as important throughout this race, and if they push their tyres too much, it could definitely cost them throughout this race, as we could see these guys go for a mixture of strategies. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for this race. I haven't asked them, but I'm probably going to leave it as a surprise to you guys, so you can expect the unexpected. But from what I've heard, I haven't heard anything, but usually the tyres do give a clear indication to what the weather's going to be like as well. So if we see a lot of people qualify on a set of ultra softs, they will possibly go on those, and it won't matter, and then they will qualify on any tyre they want for the wet race, possibly on the set of intermediates. But sometimes they just do want to qualify on the ultra softs just for the sake of it, and see if they can try and stretch those ultra softs a little bit longer. But we really don't want that puncher. As Clone Troop just went into the pits. Don't know what happened there, but his lap time, I think, got invalidated, so that's why he has come into the pits then. So very interesting there. So quite a mixture of tyres at the moment. We've got Franglish on the softs at the moment. He's set the pole time at the moment. Not the fastest we've seen, not the fastest I've seen in any leagues at the moment, but again, they can go faster. We've got 8 minutes and 52 seconds left to go of qualifying. We've got Infamous Clays in a P2 at the moment on a set of mediums, as well as Beefer. Verstappen in P4 at the moment on a set of soft tyres, with Palsary on a set of mediums. X-Power is on a set of ultras, Dralix on a set of mediums, Manoni on a set of softs, and we've got a few ultra soft runners coming towards the back. But if you qualify outside the top 10, it doesn't really matter what tyres you set your best qualifying lap, as long as you get it right towards the race. But possibly people towards the back will probably go on a set of ultra softs for qualifying, and then start on the softs towards the start of this race. So very, very surprised that not many people are qualifying on a set of softs, but it can all change. I've seen this in Ocean this morning. Most people did start on the mediums or the ultra softs, and then they changed rapidly onto a set of softs, and that was when they set their fastest lap on. And I think they're not pushing too much on a set of ultra softs right now, because if they push too much, that's going to set their fastest lap and they have to start the race on it. So they really don't want that to happen towards this race. We'll have to wait and see as qualifying comes on. Qualifying is around about 18 minutes, and it is quite longer than most games that Codemasters has produced, and it gives a lot more time to set good laps. They usually potentially have 3 stints to get it right. First lap is usually the banker lap, just to get familiarity of the track, which is the best tyres to go on, as I said earlier on in the session. And then lap 2 is possibly a chance to get a not too bad a lap in, but try and see what you can do in the tyre you want to qualify on. And then lap 3 is if lap 2 didn't go so well, or if you want to just pull up some more time, is where you really go for it. And I've seen a few people in the past don't go out until the final few seconds of qualifying, and that just plays wrong, and they don't set a lap there, either cut a corner or their time gets invalidated. And there's a lot of places in Hungary where they could cut a few corners, so they can't afford to just wait until the final few laps to do it. They just got to go out onto the circuit when they can and try and avoid the people that are going slower or going on lap time at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens as we go into this. Now, very sunny conditions, which does make the tyre temp possibly a little bit higher for this race, which is why not many people are pushing it. We're seeing a lot more people now starting to go onto a set of the soft tyres at the moment. We've got Hayden on a set of ultras, so yeah, I am intrigued to see what the weather's going to be like, but I'm not going to get my hopes up, because you never know, it may just be dry. But it is more, I haven't heard from anyone, so it looks like it is going to be a dry race for the majority of the session then, which is going to probably be a relief to some of the drivers who prefer driving in the dry, I've got to say, because usually not many people practice in the wet. Me, myself, I'm one of those people, when I used to be in an assist league in AOR, I hardly even practice for the wet. I don't know why, and it does cost me a little bit, quite a lot as well. So yeah, you can't afford to not practice in the wet. You just find some time during the week to practice during the wet, I gotta say, and it could possibly work. We will just have to find out and see what happens with what is going on. So let's just see how this qualifying plays out. Not many people in the 150s, but don't forget this is a low tier. This is tier 2, so possibly we could see people go into the 160 is probably what we're pushing it, but we will find out pretty soon. It does depend also on the pace of the drivers as well, so very intriguing as well. So most people have done well in qualifying and done well in a race, but a few people done well in qualifying but bottled the start, so we really can't afford that to happen as much as possible as well. As Pelsbury dives it into the pits. We've got a few people on their outlaps at the moment. Ollie Smithson is looking to set a lap time at the moment. He's on a set of softs now. Everybody, like I said, is going on to a set of soft tyres. So they must be watching the stream somehow, I gotta say. So yeah, they must be, or they must be reading my mind or something, I gotta say. So yeah, hey ho about that. So we are 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining of qualifying, and it's anyone's game. I can't really call it who is going to get pole position. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to get pole position of this Grand Prix. If you have any favourites as well, it would be interesting to see as well. Just let us know as well. So very intrigued for you guys to find out as well. As Ollie, I think, is just about to start his flying lap. Clone Troop is on the lap at the moment as well. As Seaweed is interesting to see if he could go faster on a wheel. But we've also seen him in the F1 tier last week. The rest of it, the first time, was on a wheel as well. So a lot of people have got wheels for Christmas. They're still starting to get used to it. They've gone to a little bit of a transition period to start with. They may do first few races of the year on a pad, and then once they're comfortable with the wheel in practice, then that is when they can promote to the wheel full time. So that is what most people are doing, and that's what Clone Troop has done. He's gone through a transition period. like it were, and hopefully he doesn't cut any corners, I've got to say, because to be honest, I really want him to do very well on a wheel. It is quite hard to adapt to the wheel first time especially, and we did see someone go slowly in that. And Hungary is quite hard on a pad, to be honest. A few people in this league are on a pad, and it's one of the hardest circuits to race on a pad. So the best place to qualify and race in Hungary is the wheel. That's probably why Clone Troop decided that the best way will be to qualify and race on a wheel, because obviously it's harder on a pad. As Clone Troop crosses the line, he takes P8, which is not that bad at the moment. He's on a 117.4, so he's currently in a prime spot at the moment. Everyone's on the same tire. I haven't seen a race, no, I haven't seen a qualifying in a while that had people start on the same tyres, I've got to say. So very, very interesting strategies there. But it just goes to show, I think they were listening to what other people had done as well, and they had a few practice sessions in as well, and then they thought the soft tyre was the best. Now, Ollie Smithson and Hayden, still the only guys not to set a lap time, but everyone else has set a lap time at the moment. Pretty much everybody now is now out of the circuit. Now, this is going to be very, very busy. You can't afford much lockups going through into Hungary, and you've got to get your lap absolutely right. And if you do get holed up in traffic, then this could definitely cost you. So that is very important. You've got to get your lap absolutely right and not warm your tyres up a little bit too much. We've got the first person into the 115s, which I was predicting, and I wasn't predicting who it was, but I was predicting someone to go into the 115s. But it was Infamous Clays who's going to the 115s, but only in P2 with a 116.1. So we've had a few people improve on Franglish's time of 116.6. X-Power up into P2. 3 just pushes Dralix there down into P4 and Franglish into P5. But we have seen people go faster. We have seen people go into the 115.5. So I'm excited to see if people do that, as we've seen a few yellow flags in sector 1. Hayden's just about to cross the line. Is he going to set a lap time? Is it going to be validated? Yes, it is. He's got a 117.4. Clone Troop decided enough's enough, and he's not going to take further part in this qualifying session. But we've still got Rosberg still on a lap as well. Some of the faster guys on the lap as well, and they really want to be up the top if they want to still fight in this championship. And Maloney is definitely on a prime spot at the moment. He's leading this championship right now, and he wasn't leading this championship before, because Morso and Aiden weren't leading, but they moved up into F1, which I'm so happy for them. But now, because of this, Maloney is now leading this championship, as Maloney, I don't think, has another chance to get us. I think, we see Verstappen in the gravel, and I think we've seen one of the Red Bulls as well. That was Ollie, I believe. I didn't see who crossed the line to set one final lap. Maloney's out at the moment. Is retired. We've got Dralix has just set a lap with a 116.5. X-Power is no longer going to go. I will see who else is improving. Beeper's not improving now. Rosberg can't improve either. So a lot of people in the 116s. A few people going into the pits right now. Beeper's on the lap. Helsby's on the lap. Hayden's on the lap as well. So I can't really call it at the moment. But it's looking like Infamous Clays is to win at the moment for this, but Beeper's looking very quick. He almost went into the pits, but that is what you want to do to get that maximum speed and maximum momentum, as it were. Beeper crosses the line. He doesn't improve, unfortunately. He's P8, and Franglish, I think, is on the lap. And where does he come from? I don't know. I didn't see. Let's just see. Oh, he pops into P11. So Franglish is one of the guys who does get free choice of tyres, but a lot of these guys will probably go on to a set of the soft tyres. So that is where most of these guys will qualify on today to get that one-stop strategy working. So here are your qualifying results then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We've got Infamous Clays that takes pole position by 4/10 per second with Maloney in P2. We have VRT Verstappen in P3. AOR Posey in P4. Sam in P5. X-Power in 6th. Dralix in 7th, Beeper in P8. We've got Jork in P9 and Rosberg rounding up your top 10 with Franglish, LDS, Hayden, Clone Troop, and Ollie is the only person not to set a time, so he's probably going to do a last 2 challenge here in Hungary, which is quite difficult. All of them are separated by roughly one second. So that just shows how close it definitely is in this F2 League. So we are about to get underway here in the Hungaroring, and we are absolutely excited. I nearly said the Red Bull Ring, but luckily I said the Hungaroring instead. So hey ho about that. But anyway, we are going to see if our pole sitter is going to play the strategy right. We have seen Infamous Clays gain a few wins this season, so he's not a first-time winner. So it is possible that he can gain a win in this circuit, because it is quite hard to overtake. So if he gets his start right, this could play absolutely crucial and he could do well. But we still have a few people nipping at his heels as well. With only the other championship rivals, Rosberg is way down the field as well. So that's going to put less pressure on Maloney going into the first few turns of this Grand Prix then. And it's going to put more pressure on the other championship rivals as well. So very interesting indeed as well. It is already so close, this championship already. It's too close to call how far it's going to go, because it can change all seasons. We've got the formation lap underway as I'm going to get the tyres, as everybody except Aiden is on a set of soft compound tyres, which is the tyres that you want to be in. Literally everyone qualified on the softs anyway, so that was possibly an easy strategy to do. So that's why I didn't take that long for these guys to set their tyres. With Hayden taking a little bit more thought now. Hayden, the only person going on to that alternate strategy on the mediums, but we have seen it work this morning in Oceana with Team Marduk. He was able to avoid the contact they've had with a few people earlier on, and he was able to climb through the field, and he ended up finishing in P3. So sometimes the alternate strategy could work, but it varies from lobby to lobby, and it also depends on the guys you're racing for as well. So that's probably why Hayden's doing that, or maybe he just wants to do the alternate strategy for the sake of it and wants to help his teammate. But his teammate's not racing tonight, I don't think. So that is why you don't see him. I think he's the one that's missing. He's the one that's missing with Roberts. I finally got it right, but hey ho. So Hayden wants to make sure he tries to get some valuable points in the constructors. If you just joined us, hello and welcome to the AOR Hype Energy Xbox One F2 League in Hungaroring. We've got Infamous Clay starting on pole position now. Hopefully he's going to get a good start. We are powered by Elgato, who produces one of those lovely capture cards and also the stream decks, and also lovely cool stuff. And I surely recommend you go and get one of those capture cards, because it does help you. And some people do record their highlights using their Elgato as well. I've seen a few people in this league do that as well, and some people actually do stream it on their channel as well. So it is quite nice to have an Elgato on you. So I do recommend you can get it from Amazon and stuff like that, and it's nice to be partnered with them. And we're also powered by GT Amiga Racing and Thrustmasters as well. So thank you so much. Before we start, thank you so much to our sponsors. A few of these guys are going to start, and we are underway soon. We've got 5 lights, and it is lights out, and away we go here in the Hungaroring. Let's see if who gets a decent start. It's an even start for Infamous Clays and Maloney. How is everybody going to do going into turn 1? We got Maloney trying to dive it in, and Maloney losing an opposition there. Verstappen managed to get a dive in on the inside of Maloney, and is now up into P2. Palsbury not doing too bad either. X-Power go diving in on the action as well. All making it clean for into turn 1 at the moment. We also got some trouble possibly running around the back as well. So decent start from everyone. I got to say, Rosberg trying to make sure he can gain positions. He's trying to make a move around the outside. The jaw, can he make it stick? Yes, he can. He almost got, yeah, he's got that move done ever so nicely. And oh, we've got a collision already, and I think that's with a Sauber. Yes, that is one Sauber and one Williams, I believe. That's Palsbury and Beefer. And Beefer just got a 5-second stop go for that serious collision. that happened there. Didn't quite see what happened due to the camera angles, unfortunately, but that was quite unfortunate. But Infamous Clade is still managing to hold on to the lead of this Grand Prix, and it is definitely crucial here, and he is doing very well. He's already pulling away for Verstappen. Bailey doing absolutely fantastic to gain a few positions. Let's see who has gained the most positions so far. Verstappen gaining 1, Rosberg gaining 4, and so is LGS, X-Power and Jork also gaining 2. Manoli, Dralix, Beefer and Pelsbury dropped quite a lot of positions in his opening stint of this race, so maybe you can't go flat out a few times, and it is not over in lap 1. You got to keep it conservative throughout and not push too much and try and keep it clean, and that's what most people are doing. And Pelsbury is having possibly a worse race because he's getting another stop go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so he's got 10 seconds of stop go. That's going to put him at the back of the grid, dead last. That is not where you want to be in this race. But we've got, I think, Frangwish going to try and see if he can go past Jalix. But it's very tight corners coming up. You really got to make sure you get it right. I think obviously the main corner you can overtake is turn 1 and turn 2. And we've got Verstappen pulling away from Maloney. That is very good to see as well then. So it will be interesting when DRS gets enabled in lap 3 and how they use it in lap 4 as well. So looks like it is going to be dry conditions for pretty much the whole of this race. So very interesting happens there. So everybody is going on to lap 3 of this Grand Prix, and the order hasn't much changed to the start of this lap. Dralix is going to do all he can to try and fend off Frangwish, but he is now on the attack for LGS and Jork 94 as well. This is going to be absolutely remarkable. It's going to be possibly a replica move that we see the Oceania guys do this morning, but unfortunately it wasn't quite good enough. It obviously is really tight to get through into turn 2. You can make an overtake move if you are lucky, but sometimes it does hardly work out. But I will be following these guys a bit closely once we get through to turn 1 and see if they could get that move done as much as possible as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here as well. So we have got Janice trying to catch up as well. We've got Rosberg on trying to close it on the back of Sam as well, getting a very good turn into these last couple of corners of the set. So very good for him as well. He really wants to get a good result here, and he's on a perfect prime position to do that. Sam on the back of X-Power as well. Is he going to be at a decent position to do it? He is a bit too further back to do it at the moment as well. Be interesting to see what happens here. But I think Sam is going to see if he can try and make a move into turn 1 on the outside. X-Power tried his best to try and defend, but he couldn't quite do it. Sam stays P4 for now, but X-Power is on the attack. He almost touched Sam. He's forced Sam wide, and there's been some contact between Rosberg and almost some contact from Jork as well. So that was very unfortunate. I said turn 2 was difficult, and these guys proved me right, I got to say, and that's caused Rosberg to drop all the way down into P11. He's losing a little bit of pace at the moment, so very unfortunate for CRL Rosberg. He wasn't really looking forward to this race at all, and he's having some bad luck, so very unfortunate, which means Sam is still in P4 at the moment. X-Power has dropped it to P3. Now it was the inside, not the outside. I do apologise, I'm an idiot. So thanks Joe for pointing that out for a second there. I need to get my outsides and inside mixed up. Anyway, so we are going to see how this is going to work out for this midfield battle going into the last few corners there. Now Jalix is now on over the back of Jork. LGS is all over the back. Well, Jork's all the back of LGS. Let's see how that's going to turn now. Down the inside goes Jork into turn 1 and gets that move done perfectly, but they're still side by side. Rally! Oh my word! That was unfortunate for Jork. He almost got, he was side by side, but there was a little bit of contact. There's also a little bit of contact in the field as well Ollie's spinning and not waiting for other people to go past him. So he's dropped it down as well. So already the order already changing quite rapidly. So that is very unfortunate, but that is allowing people like Hayden and Clone Troop to go up the field as well. So very unfortunate for Jork, but Dralix is managing to hold on there very nicely, and we've seen a few people drop it around the field there as well. Ollie making a huge mistake. He has gained a few positions, but then he dropped it a little bit there as Hayden has just got a 3-second time penalty. So the Ferrari did get hit, and then Rosberg managed to go into him. Rosberg, it looked like Rosberg could not avoid that, so it wasn't Rosberg's fault at all, which was very unfortunate there. So already carnage happening in this Grand Prix, and we're not even halfway yet. This is going to prove different for strategy. Jork will have to change his strategy right now, as he was hoping he was going to do a 1-stop, but unfortunately he may need to turn it to a 2-stop or go on to a set of mediums, and hoping he could go towards the end of this race, and that's what Rosberg will have to do. That's what that's what Jork is doing as well. So yes, most of these races I've commentated on in Hungary, I've seen 2 people going to the pits early on. So is this a curse? Is this a commentator's curse that I'm seeing, and we've seen 2 people going to the pits quite early on? I don't know, but I think we have seen Pelsbury, so it's free as well. So I'm not going to say anything more. But anyway, it looks like we've got about a room between P8 and P9, as well as Clone Troop is trying his best to close on to Hayden at the moment. But the one who's avoiding all this carnage is our top 3 in Famous Clatties, VRT Verstappen and Benoni. They're not involved in a battle at the moment, but once we get towards the end of this Grand Prix, when the tyres start to wear down a little bit, then we could see some battles. So really, really looking forward to that, to see what happens. I think a few people tonight are just not taking it cautiously. They have decided to make the move and think it's going to work out fine, but they just make the mistake and either brake too early or do a bit of oversteer or understeer, and that will cost them a little bit. Franglish is now up into P2 due to all that due to all that carnage, with Dralix still holding on to P5, but we've got Dralix and we've got a yellow flag. Oh no! I didn't quite see what happened there, but unfortunately Pelsbury is out of this Grand Prix. We've just had our first retirement, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully we can get a few words in the chat from him to see what happened, because I didn't catch his retirement, unfortunately. But that was unfortunate. He had some carnage lap 1 and he was trying to avoid. Oh, I saw it a little bit. I think he binned it towards turn 2, I believe. So that is quite common, I think. Turn 2 is probably one of the hardest corners on this circuit, I got to say. So not really that surprised that people get caught that out there as well. So on lap 8 of this Grand Prix, then the order of the midfield is going to change rapidly in this race, and we've still got a few of the midfield guys catching up. We've got Franglish, we've got Dralix, and we've got Sam as well. So Dralix is now 3 tenths behind Sam. He's not going to make the move now because he's seen other people make the move into turn 2 and didn't quite work. He almost tried to attempt it, but unfortunately he didn't get the best of lines, and he kept the line that he wanted and was trying to stay where he is, which is very, very, very good of him. Don't make moves he can't make, and that's what these guys are doing at the moment. So yeah, so we will try and find out where Pelsbury retired. I think it was towards the end of turn 1, the beginning of turn 2. I think that's where he retired. Correct me if I'm wrong, but very unfortunate from Pelsbury, like I said. He has had a bit of bad luck this season, and I really do feel for him, and I hope he doesn't give up from this, and hopefully he can practice well and do well in Belgium, which is the longest circuit on their calendar. Now, Franglish is now still managing to find some time on Dralix, which is very, very interesting. Now, I thought he was going to make a move into the penultimate corner there, but luckily he didn't, because otherwise that would have been involved in some carnage there. And Pelsbury got retired in a chicane, and apparently someone dive-bobbed him and spun him, which was very unfortunate. So that is what happened with Palsreed. But right now, let's draw our attention to Fanglish and Dralix. Not going to make the move into turn 2. They're still very tightly together. There may be a few opportunities to possibly get that overtake done and see if they can do it. There's also a few dust as well, and I haven't mentioned really about the dust, because the dust around this circuit, you do see a lot of them, and I have seen a lot of them today as well. And that also is another factor for why people find it hard to overtake. No, we're set to 3. Set to 3. So that was unfortunate for Halsey. It looked like turn 2 because someone I did see a car spun it there, but it was there as well. As we do have a yellow flag in set to 2. Who was it? Oh, it's Ollie Smithson again. He spun it on towards turn 3, and that didn't help his case whatsoever then, as no, it wasn't turn 3. It was I need to get my turns right. Next race I'm going to have a track map, and I will get my turns right. But anyway, Ollie is slowing down ever so slightly. I think George got involved as well. We do see a few people pitting, and that is a bit earlier than we thought, because usually the pit window around about Hungary is around about lap 12 to 16 on the set of these soft tyres. So Beaver and LGS pitting a few laps earlier than intended, but maybe their tyres were not up to par, and maybe they overheated them a little bit too much, so that's what forced them to pit a little bit early there. So that's allowed Rosberg to go into P10 at the moment. Now I wonder who is going to pit first. I wonder who's going to get the strategy right. Now Verstappen I do believe hasn't got a win this season. Let me just check my standings. No, he hasn't. He hasn't got a win this season, and he's hoping to score one in Hungary. He hasn't got any penalties at the moment, so he's looking on a very good chance here. But I'm not going to say anything more because I don't want to jinx anything, and I don't want to get any commentators' curses. So zip it. So anyway, Manoli is still in a comfortable 3rd place, but he is still finding some pace on baby VRT Verstappen, which is very good to see as well. Dralix finding that pace into turn 1. Sam having a little bit of a look up into turn 1 as well. That's allowing Dralix to try and close in. Hayden and X-Power are fighting into turn 1 as well. LCR Hayden's trying to defend, and he did it. Is X-Power going to get a better run going into turn 2? Unfortunately, he cannot. So Hayden, nice defending, and that's why he's still in P7 at the moment. So a very, very strong start from LCR Hayden on the alternate strategy in P7. So I did say the alternate strategy could work, and I think this is the race where it could work, as he's looking very, very strong indeed. So well done to Hayden indeed. So very good battles I've been seeing this race as well. Most of these battles I've been seeing are towards the midfield. I haven't seen any battles for the lead at this moment in time. If Manoli can catch up to Verstappen, then whoa, that could be a battle and a half. But we can see Sam, Dralix and Franglish closing up there around about a second clear of each other. I think the best person we could get a good view on is Franglish, and I think he's not that far from Dralix, but I think Dralix is closer to him, as Manoli's going to the pits right now. As Sam dives it on the inside, ever quite nicely actually, as Dralix manages to hold on to P4 only just, and that's allowed Franglish to go on the back of him. Oh, that is very tight. If Dralix gets the move done in turn 2, that'll be absolutely insane. He's about 95 thousandths behind Sam. This is absolutely remarkable driving from these two guys. And don't forget, Dralix actually won this last week, and he's using this as his momentum. He wants to score as many points as he can in this race, and he's doing ever so well to try and achieve that. So very, very good indeed. So very, very impressed with how these guys are doing. So I won't be surprised if these guys catch up throughout this, and this battle can go possibly until the pit window. So we are on lap 12 now, so the pit window has started. So we can see the start of these guys pitting for a set of soft, but Hayden will be stretching the mediums just a little bit longer due to the fact they are the hardest tyres available on this circuit now. Sam is managing to pull away from Alex and Franglish. Sam is in the pits right now. Verstappen is in the pits right now. In famous place, choosing to stay out. Franglish up the inside of Tralix there, as Franglish is up into P2. Absolutely remarkable stuff from the Englishman, as he, I think he was, Tralix is on the attack again, going into turn 2, but unfortunately he didn't quite make it work. So Franglish up into P2 now. Absolutely sensational stuff. I need to get my words right. Now, we have a yellow flag in sector 2, and I think that's Ollie, because, yeah, that is Ollie. That is Ollie there, and that is a bit unfortunate for Ollie. He hasn't had luck the last race, to be fair. He was about a lap or 2 laps down in Germany, as far as I'm aware. Let me just look at the results from last time about. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell me the lap times and the finish race time, so unfortunately I could not check that. But Infamous Clays is now in the pits right now. I won't be surprised if Franglish is going to go into the pits pretty soon as well. No, Franglish is choosing to stay out, but his rival Dralix is going into the pits now, so that will prove to be very interesting. Can the undercut work now? And also Infamous Clays is in the pits as well, so I wonder if any of them are going to go ahead of Verstappen. Is Verstappen going to get that undercut working? So, how is that going to work? We shall have to wait and see. Dralix, unfortunately, doesn't make it way past Verstappen. Infamous Clays, that was a quick pit stop from Infamous Clays, and they're side by side with Hayden at the moment. Absolutely remarkable stuff. So, Infamous Clays play that pit stop to perfection and manages to hold on to the net lead of this race. So he pitted when he needed to, and he's on a set of mediums, and so is Verstappen. And Manoni said that is definitely going to help him throughout this Grand Prix. He's definitely having a remarkable race. He's pretty much been leading the race pretty much to start, and that's what he's been continuing to do. So all in all, I think we haven't been following much of him throughout this race, because that's because he's been doing ever so well. Another person doing ever so well at the moment is Verstappen. He had quite a good pit stop. His rivals didn't catch up to him as much as he would have liked to, but that's because he got his pit stop right as well and pitted at the right time. A few people pitted a lap earlier than a few people, but it does depend on the strategy. We do have a Red Bull pitting, and that is Clone Troop. He's going to go on to 7 mediums. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. He's going on to a set of mediums. Yes, he's going on to a set of mediums. And he's going to, I think, come down, into around about P9, P10. So possibly ahead of X-Power by the looks of things. And it's interesting to see that LCR Hayden and Famous Clays have been fighting throughout this race as well, which is very good to see as well. Even though Hayden is still yet to pit, he may have a chance of holding up the guys in front of him to make sure Infamous Clay may take the win, but it's not like that in Xbox One F2. They are Xbox One F2. They really want to make sure they play absolute fairly and make sure they run their own race, and that's what these guys are doing. So Hayden will probably come in the next 5 laps or so, around about lap 17 to 20 is where can you expect the medium guys who started on the mediums go onto a set of the soft tyres. But Hayden may prove me wrong and pit now, but he's not going to, so thank goodness he didn't prove me wrong there. So yeah, around about the end of lap 16, start of lap 17 to around about lap 20 is where can you expect the likes of Hayden to hit. So doing very well there to try and hold up. Let's look at the gap actually between Hayden and where is he going to end up at? He's actually going to end up after the pit stops in P8. So he's going to go ahead of Rosberg, and he's going to go behind Dralix. So he's going to be in a good position, I've got to say, and get involved in some battles. But Verstappen has got a 3-second time penalty. That is very unfortunate, but it is quite common to corner cut in this circuit. I won't be surprised if it was the start of sector 3 that he did corner cut, because or the end of sector 2, because that is where I usually corner cut in Hungary, due to the fact it is quite hard not to corner cut. I corner cut by accident, I've got to say. I don't corner cut intentionally. And Ollie got 5 seconds to go for ignoring blue flag. So already, Ollie's being lapped by the race leader. And the guys in front of him already, just like last week. So I wonder if his pace is starting to die down a little bit on this game. But I really hope not. But hey ho, we're on lap 16, lap 17 now. And LCR Hayden's already losing time on Infamous Plays, but it is normal because Hayden is still on a set of 16 lap old mediums. Is that going to allow VRT Verstappen, also known as Bailey, to overtake Hayden in the next couple of laps? Maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he doesn't need to at this moment in time, mainly because, and oh, he gets the move done in almost turn 3 there. That is absolutely awesome, but it wasn't that hard, and I think Hayden just let Verstappen through. So, or Verstappen made that move legitimately, which is what it looked like. So he had to work for it, which was good. So Verstappen now in P2 there. So let me just get the interval back now. So pretty much everyone, I think, has pitted. Yes, everyone has pitted except Hayden. So it will be interesting to see how these last, well, to be honest, it's almost the halfway point of this Grand Prix. How these guys are going to manage these tyres towards the end, it's beyond me. It's going to be amazing. So, yes, and I wonder, and Ollie's slowing down again. What is going on with Ollie today? I really don't know. But we've still got some battles in midfield, and it is still between Franglish, Sam, and Dralix. I wasn't expecting to do it after the pit stop, but they are still doing it pretty much after the pit stops. That is what I like here at the moment. Them fighting to the bitter end, I've got to say, is I think Dralix is still right behind Franglish. They're still going to make the move on this lap, I think, at the moment. They're going to make it stick at the moment and possibly try and see if they can try and close in the gap a little bit, and maybe do it at around about lap 19 or lap 20. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. As Ollie Smithson has retired from the session, not quite sure what happened there, but very unfortunate, and not really surprised really, as he's had quite bad luck this race already. So yes, hopefully he can recover from that for the next race. So very intrigued. So anyway, so Famous Clays 3.7 seconds be clear of Bailey now. He is on a roll. He is running his own race at the moment, and Hayden still managing to hold on to third with a set of the medium tyres then. He's going to end up in P8 and P9 after those pit stops. We've got Manoli in P4, Sam in P5, Franglish in P6, Dralix in P7, Rosberg I think is going to have a battle with X-Power. Good job I caught that right at the moment as well. But there's also a battle between the midfield as well to watch out as well. So I might be switching up the battles pretty soon as well. So I'll be quite close to see as well as X-Power's going to see if he can try and make the move into turn 1. It was a little bit late on the move there, so that's probably cost him ever so slightly, and that was a bit of a lock-up from X-Power as well. So that's allowed Rosberg to keep P8 up in front of him. Franglish and Dralix and Sam, unfortunately, Dralix wasn't able to get that move done, so he's possibly going to get the move at around about lap 20, I think. That is possibly what is going to happen as Franglish got a 3-second time penalty. A lot of people getting penalties today, but again, I'm not really that surprised. And a lot of people are probably having a lot of downforce in their setup today due to the fact there's a lot of twisty corners and there's a few straights where you do need a lot of downforce. So a lot of people mixture of setups, and I wonder which one is going to pay off. Is Hayden, and is going into the pits right now for a set of the soft tyres. So massive well done to him. He managed to get to survive for around about 19 laps on the set of those medium tyres. Now, he's going to be behind Rosberg and X-Power now. So, and they're quite close together as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as well. As Franglish is going to see if he can try and close in onto Sam. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Around about 5 or 6 laps time, I will be checking the penalties. Usually I get the co-commentator to do that if I'm streaming, but unfortunately there's no co-commentator tonight, so I'll be checking that around about 5 or 6 laps time. So do not worry, that means you'll get a clear indication as to what the penalties are like as well. So I'm interested to find out your thoughts about how that's going to play out. And usually for some of these races on the calendar in season 16, we have seen penalties do decide some of these races, and that's a bit unfortunate. So I really do hope that penalties do not decide this race. I got to say, apologies, I have a little bit of a cough, but I have been talking since about 10 past 8 this evening, so that's probably why. But anyway, we're on lap 21 then, as they're not going to make the move into the turn 2. No, they are not at the moment. We have got people who have been on the mediums for about 11, 14 laps. The one that was involved in collisions earlier, and that was LGS and Jork. And it's really basically for them, it is mainly about damage. It is really about damage limitation for them, in my opinion. So they've really got to make sure that they get these set of corners right when they try to overtake. And there's already a lot of dust flying on the track right now, which possibly make overtaking a bit more difficult due to the dirty air, I've got to say. But hey ho about that. So everybody on the 7 mediums apart from LCR Hayden, who wants to start on the mediums. So everyone pretty much doing the one stop like I predicted, which I think has been the faster one. Well, I have seen people in a few leagues where they've done 2 stops and it's faster, but again, it does depend on the driver. But 99.9% of the time, 1 stop is the way to go around Hungary. I wonder which circuits do a 2 stop, because I have seen many circuits where they just do the 2 stop and it works, but it's mainly going to be possibly 1 stop for most of these circuits as well. Maybe Kota, possibly a 2 stop, but maybe some people could try and stretch those tyres to the end, but maybe, I don't know. We have seen in Hungary a few of these tyres get blistered towards the end there, and I wonder if these guys are going to get blistered tyres towards the end of this Grand Prix, but it does depend also when they have pitted as well. So what will be interesting to find out here as well. So we've got a few representatives, a few people will be happy that Mercedes is leading again, just like in real life Hungary. 5.5 seconds now between Infamous Clay and VRT Verstappen then. So Infamous Clay, what is happening with his pace? He's doing ever so well. Let's just see what his last lap was. His fastest lap was in 1:19.2. I think the only person that set the fastest lap as well as him is a 1:19.0. So 1:19.260 is the fastest of the guys that are still racing at the moment. So yeah, to be honest, I'm not really that surprised that he's able to pull in the gap between him and VRT Verstappen. So it'll be interesting to find out as well. So let's just see what happens with the mid. Let's actually just see what's happening with CRL Rosberg and X-Power. X-Power is going to find the downforce speed to make a move into turn 1. Unfortunately, he can't at the moment, but we still got Hayden diving side by side between him at the moment. He was concentrating so much on trying to overtake and Rosberg, but he didn't know he had Hayden beside him. They're side by side at the moment. How are they going to make a move around turn 3 and 4? This is remarkable. It's really hard to make a move in those turns, and Hayden has done it. Now up into PA, probably the overtakes of the night, I got to say, from Hayden, I got to say. So Hayden's driving ever so well. Like I said, now all he's got to do now is Hayden has got to try and make sure he closes in on to CRL Rosberg in the Mercedes. I wonder how that's going to turn out. I've seen Hayden dramatically improve in a few sims throughout this year already in 2019, and he's doing ever so well here. So I really do hope he does improve, and it is looking like he's on a charge. Really, he's 14th in the championship at the moment, and his best finish, I believe, was in Britain with a P6, and he's looking to equal that at the moment. But he may not equal that because of the gap, but we'll find out as Hayden's going to try and make a move around the inside of turn 1 and all. Oh, Ross, I think someone was forced wide a little bit. I think Hayden had to concede a place. He knew he had done something wrong, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I messed up, and he gained position back to X-Power and Rosberg. It's nice if people know they've done something wrong and they took people out, and to be honest, they can afford to, they have to get the position back, and the ones that do get a position back are the ones that are good sports, I've got to say. But yeah, that was very unfortunate for Hayden. He almost looks like he was going to make the overtake work, and I think I had a little bit of a commentator's curse, I gotta say. So yeah, commentator's curse is not the best, and I'm known for commentators cursing for pretty much all the leagues I commentate for. So yeah, not gonna say anything more, as Hayden's almost trying to defend off X-Power. Overtake, I mean, he's going to possibly try and make the move again into that final corner. As he can, almost a slide from Hayden. We already see also FIFA and Clone Troop closing in as well. How is LCR Hayden going to try and make the move into turn number 1? Is he going to do it? They're side by side again. Can Hayden do a similar move like he did a lap ago? Yes, he does. He does that ever so nicely. X-Power is still on the back of Hayden though, so it's not all over yet. Hayden is now in a prime position to see if he can overtake Rosberg and hopefully get a better position there, and hopefully not make that mistake as he did a lap ago, which I really do not hope he doesn't make that same mistake. Looks like he seems to be doing better at the moment. LGS managing to make his way past Clone Troop there, so that was very good from Clone Troop, from LGS I mean, to make the way past. So we are seeing battles developing. We could see a battle for a P5 potentially brewing as well. Hayden almost trying to make a replica move, but unfortunately he didn't do it at the moment. But let's concentrate. To be honest here, because I'm solo commentating, it's quite hard to see which battle to track, but luckily I'm on the right one. Hayden is going to see if he can try and make a move into turn number 1 with Rosberg, but unfortunately it looks like Rosberg got the move done, but they're side by side at the moment. Hayden's going to try and make a move into turn 2. Can he do it? And unfortunately the camera angle didn't quite do it justice at the moment, but Rosberg is managing to hold on to P7 for now. But Hayden is still going to find some good opportunities to try and close into him. He's going to get some decent points haul for the Williams. That's where he was last season. That's probably why I thought the Williams. But the Renault that he is in this season. So yeah, he's doing ever so well as try and hold in as well. And Jalek is trying to do his best to see if he can try and concede to Franglish and try and make the moves done as well. And it's interesting to see all three of these guys, even after that collision that happened earlier. It was a minor collision. It looked like it was a racing incident, and they're still fighting along, which is very good to see. His X-Power is still over the back of Hayden as well. So it's not over for Hayden defending wise. He's got a defend of X-Power and also try and attack from CRL Rosberg as well. And we've also got Beefer and LGS trying to catch up as well. Hayden and Rosberg side by side again. Hayden making the same mistake, and looks like Rosberg still holds on for now. Is Hayden going to make a move into turn 2? They're side by side again. Hayden gets the better line, but Rosberg gets the switch back by the looks of things. Is Rosberg going to make a move into turn 3? Yes, he does. And Rosberg is now back up into P7 at the moment. They're switching positions like a magnet by the looks of things here. To be honest, I've said that Hungary is a hard track to overtake. These guys in this F2 league making overtakes like that is absolutely incredible, because to be honest, I don't think I would make moves like that, and that just makes this race absolutely exciting to watch, which is why I like commentating for this league. To be honest, it's one of my favourite leagues to commentate on every week, so I know the drivers very well, because obviously we chat with each other, we get on really well as well, and it's nice to get to know the drivers. X-Power almost cut the corner ever so slightly. Hayden is going to get another. Oh, Rosberg almost hit the grass there a little bit there. That's allowing Hayden to find a little bit more pace, but it looked like Hayden was going quicker on that lap than the last lap. He's probably going to get a better line going to turn number 1, as Rosberg's on the inside. LCR Hayden was on the outside there in turn 1. Who is going to get the move? Looks like Hayden gets the better line, and he has got the move done. That mistake in that final few corners from Rosberg has allowed Hayden to comfortably take that 7th place now. X-Power, I don't entirely sure what happened with him. Yeah, I think he just dropped, or maybe Beefer overtook him. I don't know, but I don't know what happened. So the 3-7 Hayden and the Rosberg and X-Power has now turned to the 2-7, and Hayden is now up into P7. Unfortunately, he may not. I don't mean to the catch up to Dralix there, but he's got to make sure that he can keep Rosberg behind him. I was going to check the penalties now, but since there are loads of battles happening at the moment, I don't really want to check the penalties yet. Possibly in around about lap 32, I'll probably check the penalties. I know I keep saying, oh, I will check it now, but I don't end up doing it. So, yeah, anyway, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Rosberg is already losing pace from Hayden, and he's under pressure from Beefer now going into turn number 1. He probably wasn't expecting this going into this. Beefer goes around the inside of Rosberg then. Who is he? It looks like he got the better move, but he stayed in P9. Rosberg defending much better there into turn number 1. So I think he's going to keep that position. X-Power still on the back of Beefer. So now the threesome is pretty much changed, as it were. It's nice to see the battle up ahead of Dralix, not able to find some pace behind Franglish, unfortunately. But if we see that battle brewing, I will jump to that. So I will keep an eye on these battles as well. So hey-ho about that. Why do I keep saying hey-ho? But anyway, so Rosberg's got to make sure that he tries to fade off Beefer and X-Power behind him now, because he's 1.5 seconds behind Hayden now. There's no way he can possibly catch him unless he pushes on his tyres a little bit. Maybe he was doing a little bit of conserving in this lap, knowing that he got overtook by Hayden, but we will never know. But it does also depend on the penalties. Now X-Power is on the back of Beefer. He's around about 2 seconds now. They're all three going to possibly make 3 wide into turn 1. That'll be absolutely insane to watch if this happens. We've got LGS on the back of X-Power as well. So in a couple of laps, if this stays like this, wow, that'll be a dramatic end to this Grand Prix. But knowing them, they are clean drivers, and they do make sure that they give each other space, hopefully. So I have faith in them. I have faith in them that they are going to make some very good moves, I've got to say. So X-Power just getting a time penalty there, which is unfortunate, and we've got Rosberg trying to hold on to P8 as well, as these guys are on set to 3 right now, and they know the race is looming. They've still got a few more laps to go of this Grand Prix, and I think, let me just check that. I'm just tempted to check the penalties now, but these three are battling like the car bonnet at the moment. I really don't want to check the penalties now unless something exciting happens between those three. So maybe I'll probably have to wait till the end of this race if that happens. But that is racing. That's why I like commentating on these guys, because racing from these guys happen pretty much every lap. So that is absolutely great. As I think X-Power unfortunately didn't make the move. Beaver's still on the back of Rosberg. I don't think he's going to get the move into turn 2 unless he can do it. No, he doesn't. People who make moves in turn 2 are absolute geniuses. I got to say, I don't know if you can agree with me, but turn 2, very tricky to overtake, I got to say. So, hey ho about that. Now, if you're liking the content that you're seeing in AOR at the moment, don't forget to click the like button on this video and also subscribe to this channel and turn notifications on so you know when to see a stream from AOR next, so you know what happens there. We've still got 2 more streams after this happening tonight, so if you are missing out on AOR action after this, you can check those out as well. Unfortunately, I won't be able to check one out because I'll be asleep for one of them, so I'll only be able to check out just the one of them. So yeah, some very good action tonight, and it is great to be back in the AOR F2 commentary box after missing last week. So we are about to head on to lap 33. Oh no, we're still on lap 32 at the moment. I thought we were going to go on to lap 33, but I realised I wasn't following the leader, as Beaver is going to try and see if he can make the move into turn number 1 on Rosberg. That camera angle didn't help me whatsoever there, unfortunately. Beaver almost looked like he was going to do turn 2 there. He almost did it. He's on the gearbox of Rosberg. This might be a turn 3, turn 4 move. Rosberg does all he can to try and defend, and he does it. Rosberg defends that well, and he stays. Oh, that was a bit of a slide from Beaver. X-Power and Beaver are side by side at the moment. That's allowing X-Power and also LGS to try and close up as well. Oh my word, I did say it was going to be a dramatic end to this Grand Prix, and it already is, to be honest with you. And absolutely remarkable stuff from these boys at the moment. I know I keep saying remarkable and insane quite a lot, but it really, really is nice to watch these guys improve week after week after week. So very, very good from these guys who put on a show for us, and hope you guys are enjoying the last few laps of this Grand Prix then. So and I think I've mainly been following these guys throughout this race, to be honest with you. And Infamous Clay's got a 3-second time penalty as well. So that means Verstappen and Infamous Clay's, I think, are even on penalties now, because they're all in turn number 2 and 3. I think it's a good time for me to check the penalty. So let me go on Race Director. So Infamous Clay's had a few warnings, and he got a penalty and a warning. Verstappen, he's got 1 penalty also. Maloney, he's got no penalties. Sam has got no penalties either. Frangwish has got 2 penalties. Again, I don't know how much worth it is. And Dralix has got no penalties. Hayden has got 1. Yeah, 1 penalty. Rosberg has got none. I think I'll just focus on the top 8 as regarding penalties is concerned. I hope that helped you a lot there. Looks like Dralix was going to make a move into turn number 2 there, but unfortunately that didn't work. But I think Hayden must have stayed in P7 at the moment. Yes, he is. He did that ages ago. I do apologise. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. I don't know what happened. Possibly a glitch my end, I got to say. But Rosberg is still going to try his best to hold on to Beaver, so he is not going to hold on just yet. I wonder if he's been told about the penalties that some people have had. I haven't looked if Beaver has got, but I think he had one by the looks of things. I think Beaver had one. Not entirely sure, but again, I will check in a second. But anyway, we are on the final lap of this Hungarian Grand Prix, and to be honest, I have to give it up to him, Famous Clays. I have been following him much at all. He hasn't been involved in much battles because he controlled the race pretty much from start to finish. He's already 7.8 seconds behind Verstappen. He's been able to conserve his tyres that way and still managing to pull some great fastest laps of this race. I don't know how he does it and manages to hold on, but he has pitted quite late on than his rivals, which definitely did help him. So anyway, so well done to him if he keeps this up. But how is the final few battles going to happen between Franglish and Dralix then? Is Dralix able to make a move on the penultimate corner? It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but I wonder what's going to happen here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Dralix. Almost went a bit wide, and Famous Clays, he celebrates. He goes on to take the win here in Hungary. I think it's his third win, I think, of the season, I believe. I will double check in a minute for you. Verstappen comes across the line in P2 with Manoli in P3, Sam in P4, Dralix manages to hold on to P5. I think he got over, he got a penalty. Yeah, Franglish got a penalty. That's promoted Dralix to P5. Hayden is going to come across the line in P7. That will be a very good result for him throughout this. He does get points again. He's been consistent, with points last few races, so well done to him. Rosberg in P8, LGS in P9 to Beaver. He must have had a few penalties then, so that's why LGS has got some points, so very good to him. And Clone Troop gets his first point on the win. No, he doesn't, he got a penalty. Oh, god damn you, game. Yeah, he was. I thought Clone Troop was going to get up for his first point, but yeah, due to that penalty. But he was looking good throughout this as well. So hi ho. So anyway, so we are about to get. I think we're going to get some podium interviews by the looks of things. Yes, we are. So I am going to get these guys in a party. So I definitely want to invite our race winner, because it probably won't be much to say for him, but he definitely controlled this race. So right, so we've got our standings at the moment. We've got Famous Clays that takes the win from Verstappen. Verstappen's second podium in a row. I have to commend that to him. And Manoli extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship with a commendable P3. Sam in P4, Dralix in P5, Franglish in P6, Hayden with a good result in P7, Rosberg in P8, LGS in 9th, and Beaver rounds up your top 10. And we've got Clone Troop, Jorg, and X-Power rounding up your final finishers, with Ollie and Pelsbury being your only retirement. So I am going to invite our podium sitters to come and talk to me. So let's just see. Oh, it's not letting me do it this way. Okay, so I have to do it like this. So here we go then. So I've got the race winner, and I am going to get Verstappen, and I am going to get Manoli, which luckily I do have added as a friend, so which makes my life easier. So we got a few guys connecting to the party then. So here we go. We're just waiting for the last few guys to connect. I think we've got all our podium sitters connecting, which is good to see. So first of all, I am going to speak to our race winner then, infamous Clays from pole to fastest lap to the win. I think you got the hat-trick done there. You must have been pleased with that result.
Yeah, really happy with that. I had no idea. I had that in the locker. You know, that's the first time I've done a time like that in practice or anything. I didn't manage that in practice, so to pull that out and qualify, I was really happy with that. And to control the race was a good feeling.
So when you were pitting, did you think you would be involved in some battles? Because once you see Verstappen was out of your sight, what was your strategy going to the end to make sure you survived really? Did you conserve your tyres a little bit, or did you ended up going pushing to get those fastest laps?
At the beginning of each stint, I just pushed as much as I could without taking too much risk to try and build the gap. And took the pain with the tyres at the end, just once I was comfortable enough with the gap. So yeah.
Yeah, and going into the next race, which is in Belgium, what are your confidence for that? Because you managed to pull up a good lap in qualifying, which you weren't expecting, because you pulled up some slower laps in practice. Are you going to possibly do the same in Belgium? See what happens and not give up? Because that's your mentality.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep the momentum going now. Belgium's a good track, and I think I've got some decent pace, so let's see what I can do. Yeah,
definitely a fan favourite, I gotta say,
yeah.
And a driver favourite as well. So looking forward to see you racing. Well done. I think it was your second or third win of the season, so well deserved there. And now we're gonna chat to our P2 podium sitter, and I think it's your second or third podium in the season. Bailey, very, very good result there. How does it feel to get another podium added to your name? Bailey? Bailey? I think his mic's playing up, or I can't hear him, I don't know. So whilst we sort that out, we'll just hand it over to Maloney in P3. Well done on that P3 there. You managed to hold on to the lead of that Drivers' Championship. How do you feel about that result? That looked like a pretty good race for you.
Yeah, better than expected. I mean, Claes was pretty much in his own class yet again, just like Monaco, and every time he's like really on it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and going into...
Sad about joke.
Yes.
Yeah, some issues.
Yeah, and going into qualifying now, were you expecting to be as quick as you were to catch up to the top two, or were you like in famous Clays and was quite slow to begin with?
Well, I wasn't really expecting that. When it popped up, I was like half second from Clays. I thought that would be like edge of top 10, but since it's really close here every week. But yeah, lucky it was second place, even though it didn't work out at the end on the start.
Did you find it hard?
Yeah, GG, Bailey.
Yeah, and did you find it hard to manage your tyres throughout the race? Or were you able to keep it steady for a little bit due to the fact that you were able to hold on?
Well, it was easier than in practice, but it was still pretty hard.
Yes,
especially on softs.
Yes, softs
and mediums. Yeah.
Yeah, they are quite difficult, but luckily none of you guys were on the ultra soft, so that would have been harder. So, hopefully Bailey's back. Bailey, are you here?
He says his mic's not working in the chat.
Oh, his mic's not working. Oh, that's unfortunate there. But whilst he's still in the chat, well done to you, mate, for getting P2 there. Good result. But anyway, I've got one more question to ask you, Melanie. Like I said to Infamous, going into Belgium, is that one of your stronger tracks, or do you need to practice a little bit more to get an equally good result like you did today?
Should be a good track. Hopefully I'll be able to actually challenge Clays there and Rosberg when he's up there.
Yeah.
Should be a good race.
Yep, it should be. And you didn't really see much of your rivals throughout the race. Did that give you a bit more confidence going throughout the rest of the season?
Well, I think Rosberg just had an unlucky race, so he should be up there. So not getting my hopes up too much, but should be a really close fight.
That was unfortunate for Rosberg for having some bad luck. I hope he does recover there. And yeah, well done to everyone. Well done to you three for your podiums, and hopefully you go to Belgium with some good results. And that goes to the end of this.
It's working. Yes.
Yay!
It's working. I've got it to work.
Oh, thank goodness. I was just about to end the stream. You came just in time there. And we've got Bailey in the party now. Well done to you on that P2. How do you feel about that result? Are you pretty happy?
Yeah, I mean, after a lot of practice yesterday, which wasn't going well, and to turn up with this and get P2 is definitely something I wouldn't have expected.
That move you made in lap number 1 and lap number 2 was very, very remarkable. How did you manage to make that move so cleanly? Because I don't think I would have done that. Because you started quite low down the grid and then you moved up to P2. I was like, what? Wow. What was going through your mind?
I was P3 at the beginning, and I just went round the outside of Melanie. I got a good start. And I had a look at clears, maybe I thought I could outbrake him at turn 2, but I didn't really want to risk it, ruining my race and maybe clears, so.
Yes, you have done the right thing then. And were you doing the same as in Famous and trying to, did you find it hard on those set of mediums towards the end there, or?
I mean, the main goal was just to keep the gap to Melanie, which was hard enough. I had a 3-second time penalty, and
yeah,
I was tracking almost, yeah, and Melanie didn't, and I knew that, so I had to keep that above 3 seconds.
Yes,
so it was very dangerous.
Yeah, you still managed to do, which is good. So going into Belgium now you seem to be having a good luck now towards the second half of the season. What was your approach going into Belgium then?
Just hopefully the same thing, just come out there with some points. But I've usually done pretty well around Belgium in the past, and I hope I can add to that list next week.
Yes, indeed. Thank you guys for joining us for podium interviews, by the way, and well done on your podiums. And now we're going to come to the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want some more AOR action, check the Xbox One F1 stream right now, which I think they're starting the race, I believe. So just make sure you check that out quickly and find out what is happening in Hungary. We have seen, I think it was a wet qualifying, so that will be interesting for the drivers. And we've also got the American League in at 1 AM as well, so if you want more AOR action, and if you're still awake then go ahead and watch it. But for us, we are back same time next week for the Belgium Grand Prix. It should be a cracker. I've been Jess Games 95, and we'll catch you all next week. Good night.